This is kind of awkward. I'm here at City Hall, and I had an epic guest scheduled to meet me today. I've been waiting here over an hour, and I was becoming concerned. You know, when you're waiting to meet someone and you're like, they're a little late. You don't want to seem overly concerned. Have a nice day. But yet, where is the person? And I just found out today's mystery guest was assaulted. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to resume that. But yeah, I mean, this is crazy. New York is absolutely out of control. I mean, this is City Hall. So, I mean, by the way, with regard to City Hall, look at this. I mean, they do have a criminal in there, so the fact that it's made up like a jail. How soon until Eric Adams goes to jail? For real, serious question. He's a criminal, you know. Do you work for him? You might be complicit. Fucking assholes running this city. They got nothing to say. Behind the gates, behind the fence. There's another guy who should probably be in jail. People getting assaulted around here. Where are the cops? I mean, they're not going to do anything. It probably was the cops who did the assaulting. Anyway, I don't want to say who the guest is, because we know there's a litany of lunatics who will then, you know, engage in something to try to get the guest, I don't know, to not come on the show or something. So I had to, this is a little, I don't even know if we're running correctly here. Yeah, it looks like it's live, so that's good. People would notice I didn't have my usual Ghost Town NYC graphic, because obviously we had a graphic prepared for the mystery guest, and I don't want to blow that. But I mean, look at what's going on here at City Hall. There was some guy over here before talking about the Obama phone. I don't know what that's about. Maybe people remember what the Obama phone was. They're giving out phones. And then we've got, here's the illegal dirty fruit sales. Why are they allowed to sell illegal dirty fruit? And what is this MTA woman is buying dirty fruit? So she's not a cop. The cops don't care that these people don't have vendor permits. Ridiculous. The city is just a wreck. So yeah, exactly. Miles says, what a shitholi. It is, it's crazy. So again, I didn't really have a subject prepared for right now. So we've got the debate coming up. When does that start? There's a bunch of things happening. Let me talk a bit about what was going on Twitter, because that's where I was focusing my attention earlier today. People can get on x.com and look me up there, JG. It's at JG_CSTT. Lots of stuff going out on X. People saw the show the other night with John Cohen. We did the unredacted Beaver County District Attorney files. They released those files to me, and they don't seem to know what they're doing over there in Beaver County. I actually did have an opportunity, and I want to thank Real James, forgive me, I forget his last name, but he's on Twitter. We were having a discussion about the police. Very reasonable guy. People frequently hear me complain about people on the internet. I want to give a shout out to a friendly person. I don't know, does this guy want me to mention his Twitter? Yeah, the guest is in touch. Okay, so it's okay. So person is all right, but what a shocking thing to come to New York and get assaulted. I mean, it's not that unusual really now. I mean, just look around at who you're seeing on the streets as I walk around. You know, they are changing the population. So now we have this whole thing with the unredacted files. And there was a lot of information in there. It's not all the files. What's interesting is, I discovered something earlier. Chris Martinson has some kind of it's not Discord, but something like that, some kind of chat community or website or something like that. And I was searching around for some of the stuff in some of the unredacted documents, and this thing popped up. And I was like, wait a minute. He's got the same document there. Let me show this to people, because I don't know. Well, hang on, let's see. Let's see if I can share this with everybody. It's very strange because you see, people will be like, oh, you're arguing with Chris Martinson. That is not it at all. It's that he appears to be engaged in some kind of deception. Anyway, let's see, how do we want to do this? Share the screen. Yeah, this will work. So I found this document on his, whatever this server is. We'll look at it right now. Okay, and what it appears to show, let's see what we can find here. Yeah, I'm gonna get this to show up over here. I don't know where he got this document, but it causes me to believe that someone in the Beaver County District Attorney would have sent it to him, because I don't see how else he gets it. And I want to show people some things here. Yeah, so here we say, wow, did obvious social engineer and imprecise clown Chris Martinson receive one of the major unredacted documents I have and say nothing? So when I wrote that tweet, I had initially thought that he might have gotten it, you know, sort of like at the same time or something, that like maybe he had it before. That was my initial thought, was that he had this document, and why is he sitting on it and saying nothing? But I don't think that's the case, because when I look at it, here, look at this. See, it says it's created 7/15/24 at 11:44 a.m. So that, I mean, it's 2 days after the incident, right? So they're preparing an after-action report. Saturday was the 13th, Sunday was the 14th, Monday. So somebody comes into work Monday, they prepare this thing first thing in the morning, and they've got it. But look, it says modified, 9/8/24. I've been getting really into the details of these PDF documents because George's mentally ill Nazi brother likes to court. And one me wrong, but yet legitimate, but not saying. So this produce BizHub 368. That sounds like some kind of a, I gotta get away from this federal building. It might have just ended my broadcast. Did that end? Damn it. They're always messing with me down here, aren't they? I hope it didn't end. Are we on a second friggin' broadcast here? We are. God. Makes me so angry. They love that. Oh, wait, sorry. Gotta go back to this. Everybody's seeing my phone there. So this is what happens when the guest is, wow, I hope. Anyway, what is going on? There's YouTube. Get rid of YouTube. Crazy. So we got this guy, Gohei is the author. So the significance of this is 9/8/24. The fact that it says modified 9/8/24, that would be when this document got saved on this Chris Martinson server. That's what happens in the court. When you download a document that some clerk creates at 9:05 a.m. on June 21st, 2022, 21 or 22. When you download it from the court, the modified date is the date that you save it on your computer. So this document here was created by somebody on the 15th of July. Now, there realistically isn't anybody who would have had access to this information any sooner than that. It's a police after-action report. I need to check the date on mine. It's going to be different. It's going to be last week because it seems like they created it for me. That's why it's different. But see, somehow Chris Martinson has this document. Whoops. Yeah, see, it doesn't really, when you're not using the app, it doesn't work the way you want it to. So Chris Martinson has this document. Damn it. It's very confusing to use Twitter like this. See, and look at the title. That's a police title. They've named the thing DJT Detail Butler ESU, unredacted. Butler ESU? But it's Beaver ESU. It's not Butler ESU. I think this document was created by the Beaver County District Attorney's Office, and I think it was created the day after I started releasing unredacted documents. You know, if you go back in the Twitter here, you will see that I began talking about this maybe on the 7th, and so that document is from the 8th. So somebody, maybe Chris Martinson, is monitoring what I'm doing and maybe communicating with the Beaver District Attorney saying, hey, we got a problem. Or I don't know what they're doing, but you know, that document is on a Chris Martinson server. I haven't heard him, you know, is he gonna now start, I don't know. I'm not really trying to compete with them. I'm just doing whatever I'm doing. I don't really care what those guys do, but I think he's lying. Because he keeps saying, oh, crooks, crooks, crooks on the roof. He's not talking about the fact that we now have 3 pictures of Max Urich with an ear that looks nothing like the ear on the roof there. Remember when I was yelling at Ben Whitty's over here? That was fun. But let me see here, September 9th, we gotta go back a few days. I think they gotta be losing their mind that I'm finding the drone and the drone operator. Here's the 9th. Oh yeah, no, here's the first one, I think. What's the date on this? No, that's not the first one. I think I started posting this stuff on the 7th. Let me find it here for everybody. There we go. Yeah, so here we have September 7th. And I'm saying the more I review the unredacted files from the Beaver County District Attorney, the more I begin to think they didn't intend to send me this. In the original after-action report released by Chuck Grassley, this entire photo is redacted. Oh, I guess I'm gonna get it. This is a gnarly video if I show this. Colin hates it when I do that, but I do like this video, or this, I think it's an appropriate image. Let's see, maybe we can do it like this. Well, anyway, no, we don't need to do that. But point is, the date on this tweet, see that, September 6th? September 6th I started putting stuff out from the unredacted files, that it was Greg Nickel who sent this. So that's September 6th. So maybe those guys are having some kind of a conniption, and then they say, oh my God, we got to send these files to some idiot like Chris Martinson, and then maybe he'll have something to do. I don't know what's going on, but that's a weird document. It's got some evidence on it that indicates to me that probably somebody at the Beaver County District Attorney is working directly with Chris Martinson. Isn't that weird? Doesn't that, if that's correct, this guy's power washing. It's very good for my sound. The point is, what's the alternate explanation for how those dates got on that document? How is this thing on a... So right, Konica, people say Konica is still in business. Good question, right. That's the kind of crap that a police station would have. Who is buying a Konica business scanner? Somebody in the police, their brother-in-law works for Konica, and also only idiots, forgive me, inexperienced computer users who do not know how to handle digital documents in the way that I like to. And by the way, maybe people are picking up on this, but I'm kind of, I'm a little bit unusual with how much of a stickler I am for the handling of these type of documents. It was the bane of the existence of many animators and graphic artists and different people who used to come work for me at 21st Century 3D, but it was part of the way that I ensured that our very complex productions got completed successfully. Stereoscopic motion picture production and visual effects and compositing, doing it correctly, it's extremely difficult. So making scans and things like that on Konica scanners, that's comparatively easy. Is this somebody tracking me for Tren de Aragua? So I don't know, does anybody have any kind of explanation for that? But that's the sort of thing they do at the court. When you send them documents, they're scanning them on a scanner like that, a business scanner that, actually my scanner at home does that too. You can put a bunch of papers in there and make a PDF document, but I never use it that way because who knows exactly how it's doing it. When I make a PDF document, I scan each individual page, very careful about the brightness levels and all kinds of stuff, and then I make the PDF to my specifications. Like I've been submitting documents in court where you sometimes have a 5 megabyte limitation, and I want to put in pages and pages of graphics. You know, lawyers will think, oh, you know, you can't do that or whatever, but this is very important to handle these documents correctly. September 8th is a Sunday. Offices aren't open then. Right, but if this is a criminal operation, do we really think that whoever works in that office, in that town, can't get into the office on Sunday? Particularly if something like this just happened the day before, maybe they had to be. Who knows what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's a Sunday. And by the way, I'm just presuming that's in the office. This person might have a Konica scanner. I don't know where it came from, but that's the date the document was created. That's an extremely difficult thing to change because, first of all, lots of people involved in making PDF documents don't even know that's in there. This is crazy. See, now, obviously, to me, Eric Adams is in on this crime because otherwise they could shut these guys down in a month. All of the illegal weed stores got shut down. And why don't you guys not do crime and then you don't have to worry about getting video recorded? So they could shut all this down if they wanted to, but obviously they don't want to because I would think Eric Adams and the rest of the corrupt NYPD is getting a piece. Look at this. The sidewalk is so crowded with this counterfeit shit you can't even walk. It's more of this than ever. So the city is a wreck. The police precinct for this shithole neighborhood is down over there. I'm convinced it's run by China. I was in there to file a report against that idiot Jonathan Snyder who assaulted me outside the courthouse, my former attorney who suicided the Emmys case, I say deliberately, assaulted me outside the court. So I had to get a police report, which they initially led me to believe they would be able to arrest him. Then they changed their mind. Because the police in New York City are idiots. And now we know that the police commissioner, who is under investigation by another group of idiots, has an identical twin brother. Did people know that? I didn't know that before yesterday. That's like a Batman movie, right? You've got an identical twin of the police commissioner. This is such a sweet kind of dog. Little, what is it, Australian sheepdog. So this is the future of garbage under Eric Adams. Everything has only gotten worse. That idiot needs to be removed immediately. Oh, look, Cybertruck. Is that Elon Musk? Damn, they weren't kidding about the fingerprints. Look at that.
You want to take a selfie with them?
No. Fucking weirdo. Some strange ass person coming up to me on the street. I gotta pay a little more attention to the weirdos. So as people can see, I have not yet been I guess I don't want to tempt fate, but haven't been taken out by Tren de Aragua yet. Look at this. So everything's out of business. People are getting assaulted. Can't even have a guest on the show without them getting assaulted. We've got Kamala Harris. I think she's going to make a fool out of herself tonight. We'll have to see what happens there. I don't know. What do people think about Chris Martinson in this ridiculous document? How did he? It's a weird outfit. How did he get that document? What is he going to do with it? It's very strange to me. It's super suggestive that he is working with the police, the FBI, whoever it is that could motivate those guys to provide him that document. Now, again, in the whole, oh yeah, I forgot to tell everybody the name of that reasonable and nice guy who I was dealing with on Twitter. So this is somebody who has police, Real James Grove on X, if people want to follow him. He's a nice, reasonable guy with smart tweets, and he made a comment after I said some negative stuff about cops, his family, he's got cops, and he and I had a good exchange, so I appreciate that. So when you don't know somebody, it's very easy to just get into one of these, sort of Twitter arguments. And he very skillfully brought it back down to earth. I appreciate that, James. Thank you. So not every cop is bad. I should speak carefully. But we have an incredibly serious problem in New York City, and I think we're starting to figure out where that's coming from. Of course, a fish stinks from the head, and this is just the most incredibly stinky fish anybody has ever seen. This is pathetic. But the problem is, if Eric Adams is a criminal stealing money, and the cops know that, why are they going to bother to enforce the law? They're not. They're going to want to steal money themselves. And I also want to encourage people to go back and listen to that phone call that I had with the so-called Detective Johnson. And pay particular attention to the moment when I tell him that I'm calling to make a report about the Walcott Hotel. There's a very long pause before he says, "What about it?" Sort of like, concerned that I know something about it. These people could work for the cops, they're just standing around texting. But, the second I started talking about the Walcott Hotel, I think it turned into an interrogation of me to sort of learn what I know about it, and that, to me, is suggestive that the cops knew what was going on. Remember, the first guy who assaulted me, Justin McLaurin, he started rolling his eyes when I was talking about the hotel. Now, look, either of those guys could have said something to me like, "Hey, we are aware of what is going on at that hotel, and because of the way that you are asking us to, but rest assured that this and that and blah, blah, blah." Not tell me that your name is Dick Johnson or whatever and hang up the phone when I'm trying to tell you there's a baby being passed around like a bag of weed looking like. So the cops didn't care. Such a staggering moment. Think call the police. I think we all, in an organized country, part of the reason we aren't, we have the police relying on, they're just not relying on, or most people say the police. New York City, I also can't. Man, now we're totally frozen. Before, how did I recover that when that happened before? This is like disaster broadcast here. Let's see if we do that. Yeah, no, that didn't help it. I hate it when this happens. Today might be a day that it doesn't really want me to have a show. So how do I recover this? Let me see if I can remember here. Oh yeah, maybe we can do it like this. This worked once before. There we go, that might work. Yeah, so I'm curious. I can't really look at the thing right now, unfortunately, but I'm curious to know what people think. I mean, am I getting this wrong somehow? Is that totally innocuous that Chris Martinson has this document that appears to have come from the Beaver County District Attorney that appears to be somehow timed to counteract me having the document? I don't even know if he's announced that he has that, but it's on a Chris Martinson server, not Discord. I forget what it was called. If people know whatever kind of chat community he has going, you'll know what I'm talking about. Everybody's doing their Instagram shoots over here. But I don't know, what do we think of that? Let's see if we got the broadcast back. Because you see, he, remember, was promoting Unsteady Dave.
About products like.
And I had a lot of questions about that guy. You know, there's sort of like an anti-Goodman and Cullen crew. And, you know, at the outset of this, I was willing to talk to any of them. They were the ones who were being jerks and, you know, saying that we were committing fraud and this and that. I don't know how he got that document. Mountainless Valley. No. Now, it's not the giant tall buildings. It's that this particular street, that has happened once before. And I think that federal building also. Whoa, look at this. Bi-turbo Brabus G-Wagon. That's quite crazy. And then we got a classic SL right here. Maybe 80s. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about what we were going to discuss with the mystery guest. Obviously, tomorrow is 9/11. There's the provocateur, Agent Provocateur. This restaurant smells quite good. Fanelli Cafe. See, the other issue with Chris Martinson is that he's tight buddies with, what's his name, Brett Weinstein. And they seem to think they're like research. I just almost got a big insurance payout from this Maybach with the blacked out windows accelerating to break my knees. So Brett Weinstein seems to think that guy knows something. I disagree. And to the extent that they keep producing shows together, I begin to wonder what the hell is the matter with Brett Weinstein, because it's got to be obvious that Chris Martinson is either so stupid, it's unbelievable that he was able to earn a PhD in anything, or he's deliberately lying. And I think I know which one it is. It might be a little bit of both, but it causes me to wonder what is up with Brett Weinstein, because he has to know what we're talking about. He claims to be looking for answers for all this stuff. Look, we have a Dyson store here now. If you need an expensive vacuum cleaner. Everybody's kind of, there's no one in there shopping. What, do they make headphones now? That seems like a weird thing for a vacuum cleaner company to make. Yeah, I mean, you know, Brett Weinstein had the guy on his show, and he's saying like, oh, I'm very serious about data. And Brett Weinstein corrected him and said that it's not even data until it can be, like, you know, quantified. And I'm forgetting exactly what the parameters he put on it, but he sort of made Martinson look foolish in that Martinson was referring to something as data that technically wasn't data. So I don't claim to have a PhD, and I would still talk to the guy, but it would mostly be questions about why he has been so dishonest. And if I'm wrong and he can prove that he's not being dishonest, I mean, what evidence is there that Crooks was on the roof, that Crooks was anywhere near the place at all? The answer is none. So why does he repeat at every opportunity when Crooks did this, when Crooks did that, when Crooks flew a drone? He's saying the exact same crap the FBI is. There's no evidence that Crooks flew a drone. They've shown us so much stuff. He has the remote control, the batteries, some cell phone that they haven't said much about. Where is the drone? They said it was in his car, but they didn't show us a picture of it. Where's the flight controller? What does he even need a drone for? Like, what is he flying a drone for? What does he need that for? I've become convinced that they started talking about a drone right away because they realized that people would have captured this drone on video, seen the drone, and now, of course, I'm talking about the Anduril, that Lattice system we were looking at, which is a counter-UAS system that involves aerial vehicle and radio stuff on the ground and all kinds of things. There's all kinds of components that can be integrated into it. I wouldn't be surprised if there are maybe some components that they're not advertising. What was that? Was that some big bug on my neck? Sure felt like it. But anyway, the images that we see of the thing, they do appear to match the Anduril drone. They look definitely more similar than any other drone we've looked at. They're small, they're low res, they're far away, there's a lot of motion blur on them. Nobody has a very clear picture of the drone, but people did say they saw one. I don't think that this drone was firing. A lot of people think drones are firing. I don't think so. We've seen like some test videos of that, of drones flying around with guns on them, and yes, it's true. You could attach a gun to a drone and fly it up in the air, get it shooting lots of bullets. But it's not a stable platform, and you would not plan to do a sniper shot from it's almost a guarantee of missing, I think. I mean, at best, that is, not very thoroughly tested technology. I just don't even think that's real. I mean, how do I say this? It's not practical. There are probably demonstrations and prototypes and maybe even a product, but I think it's designed to spray, if anything. And I don't even think so. There's a lot of problems with these drones as far as flying around with big guns. The heavier the payload, the less time it can fly for, and these things cannot fly for that much time. The electric ones, it's until we get a significantly until there's like an improvement in battery energy density technology, there's a little bit of a problem where you want to fly longer, you need to add more batteries, and the more batteries you have, the heavier it is. So it's not just a matter of adding more batteries and having a drone fly longer. Guns are heavy, you fire them, it disrupts the whole thing. This aerial vehicle is small. I don't think it was firing. I think it's involved in targeting. And because it also starts to make the red dot in the window make a lot more sense. Another thing that I had posted on X was the patent. I was thinking about David Hawkins. He used to look for the technological signature. Now, are we still live on Odyssey is the question. I hope it went out on Odyssey. This was an unusual, oh wow, I'm totally logged out of Odyssey. But Hawkins used to always go and look in the patent office. And that was a smart thing, because when I did that, I found the patent for this, and it explained what the thing does and how it works and all that. So that was quite interesting. It's very difficult for me to get to where I'm trying to go here. Okay, there we go.
This is my neighborhood.
I think so. I mean,
And it seems that the thing is involved in targeting. And that would make sense. It says that it's got a plurality of sensors that are used to create a fused data set around a target. And so to me, what that means is it can take video data, rangefinder data, maybe radar data, all kinds of things. I imagine it could, this is designed by Palmer Luckey's technology startup that was, according to him, conceived to bring the kind of mentality and startup attitude of Silicon Valley to a defense company. And he's an interesting character. He gave a little speech about how, they didn't think it would be practical to go do a round of money raising to, develop a jet or a missile or something like that. So they wanted to develop some kind of small drone, and they came up with this counter drone technology, and it's pretty smart. But I'm telling you guys all this because just like with computers, which I've been using all my life, you buy the computer and then there are peripherals, and you can integrate all kinds of things with your computer. So I get the sense that this Lattice drone environment is sort of like that. So they've cleaned up the wood here with this future is taking shape. Now we have blue plastic in front of the wood, and I guess they have this permanently set up as a wall. They don't want a wall to keep illegal migrants out. They let them go live at the hotel and assault me when I try to tell the police about it. But here, we've got a wall to keep people out of NYU Stern School. I mean, it looks like a jail. Have fun going to college in jail. But anyway, this thing it's creating a fused data set around a target. So the question in my mind becomes, if you've got this drone flying around sensing a variety of things, and there's artificial intelligence involved in this Lattice network, you could put, I didn't see this demonstrated with Lattice, but I did see another company has a counter UAS technology called the Bullfrog, or that's the nickname, I forget the actual product designation, but what this Bullfrog is a turret. It's a remote operated, kind of like a telepresence turret, where you've got a video camera on a sight on the gun or a sensor. There's something controlling the gun, and it moves around, and then they show you the interface, and it's like tracking all these incoming drones, and it starts shooting them down. So I got to imagine, just like if Konica makes a scanner, you can plug a network cable into it, and then suddenly now your computer can scan things. You buy the computer, it can't scan anything. You buy the scanner and you don't have a computer, it also can't do anything. But you put those things together, and now you've got this integrated system. So I would bet it's very likely that the Lattice system can do that. So if we see a remote telepresence turret operated rifle from another manufacturer, I mean, again, this is computer stuff. So even if Anduril doesn't offer that, it's possible that the Air Force has designed something that integrates these things. It's possible that somebody in their garage could design that. I've known some pretty darn smart people who have designed some pretty sophisticated things in their garages, like 3D cameras and wireless things and whatnot. But anyway, that dot in the window at exactly 6:11 and 33 seconds, it's just too coincident with the first shot to be a random, we know it's not somebody taking an iPhone photograph in that room. That's ridiculous. We know it's not a muzzle flash. That dude just almost crashed into me, and I didn't even see it because the sun was in my eyes. So see, that's why the cops should be here telling these guys to get the hell out of here, but they would rather do nothing. And so, right, so you see, oh, I think I just got bird shit on me. Did I? I did. This is a new shirt and a bird just shit on it. That is crazy. I think they say it's good luck, but I hate it. It's a beautiful day in the park. Got a little golden hour light for everybody here. That is just crazy that I just got shat on by a bird. Yeah, so the cops, they shut down all the weed sales here in the park. They shut down all the weed stores. And what that tells me is that Eric Adams' crime family was not getting a taste of those illegal weed sales. Now, wait, look, the weed sales are back. Maybe Eric Adams is too tied up with his criminal investigation to crack down. But, you know, the point is we've got African, Chinese, counterfeit goods sales. That's through the roof. I would bet Eric Adams is wetting his beak on that quite a bit. And these other weed shops, I guess they just didn't have control over that. So I wonder who is giving out the permits to the licensed New York City weed shops. I guess that probably has more to do with Albany than New York City, but did I thought I did. No, maybe not. Can people see? It's hard to photograph my back. It felt like something fell on my back. I'll check it when I get home. I don't know, who's in communication with Chris Martinson? Ask him what the hell is going on with that document. He doesn't want to talk to me, obviously. I don't think he's going to tell you, because I think he's got something sinister. Yeah, exactly. Tom's got the idea. You don't look too cool. Asking attractive joggers what they think about the Donald Trump assassination attempt. Well, you got bird shit running down your back. Oh, don't mind that. That's just bird shit. Yeah, so see, I haven't been going over this document. This is like the final unredacted document. This Beaver County District Attorney, I forget the name of it. Well, they call it the Butler, whatever they called it. But that's, so I'm paranoid, is that it? Okay. I don't like people who sit in their home, Reg Door, Grant, Roger. I don't like people who sit in their home while I get stalked by the police in Tren de Aragua telling me that I'm too paranoid, so you've been blocked. Sorry. Not sorry. Don't care at all. But yeah, I don't think that he's going to tell anybody what he intends to do with that document. But, right, birds are real. There's that other thing, right, the bird conspiracy. So a New York City license for a weed store is $250,000. I have a feeling that's a straight bribe. And when these other stores wouldn't do it, the cops shut them down. So this is very obvious to me. You saw how that crime down there was proliferating. I mean, before the pandemic and Eric Adams and all this, you know, welcome to the new world of everything being insane, there would be guys down there, but not like that. That's become just like an open air street fair. And by the way, this is a message to the people of New York. You're also allowing that criminal syndicate to proliferate by buying that crap. I don't understand why the Louis Vuittons of the world don't go nuts over it, but look at this future of garbage. Garbage has a bright future in this city. It seems to be the #1 export. It's a growth industry. Garbage. Oh yeah, Barron Trump is now going to NYU. I doubt he's staying in the dorms, but this is an NYU dorm right here, Rubin Hall. So let's see, what is it right now, 2024? So we're talking 34 years ago. Jeez, that is a long time. I guess 6th floor, or was it? I don't remember. 3rd floor? But this is Rubin Hall, 35 5th. Good cafeteria in there. Actually, it's probably crap, but I used to just sit in there all day, you know, because it was like you pay for a meal and then you enter and you just eat. So you could just eat whatever you want. And on the days where they had items that I liked, I would have like 5 chicken sandwiches and stuff. It's just, you know, 19 or whatever. Yeah, so there'll be a lot more to discuss tomorrow, September 11th. People are rightly concerned that there could be another You know, the climate is certainly ripe for it. And I mean, you know, we've got these kind of like sleeper cells being embedded, fifth column of potential enemy combatants living among us that we're paying. And, you know, the cops are obviously not going to do anything, or they would have done it the other day. They've shown us what they're made of. It's interesting too, because now that I've been, you know, talking about the cops so much, I get different cop podcasts showing up on YouTube and everything. And there's one called NYPD Unfiltered or something like that. That's retired cops. I kind of like that one because they're talking about how stupid Eric Adams is. See, I mean, here's the thing. Back in the day, I liked cops because I'm not into doing crimes. So if they're going to stop other people from doing them, that's exactly what I want from the cops. But see, now the problem I have is I'm still not doing crimes. And when other people do crimes to me, Supra, I call them and they do their own crimes to me. Assault and denying my First Amendment rights, this idiot going through the light and looking right at me knowing he's about to hit me. This is a law school. Yeah, there was a while that I was thinking about going to law school. I'm super glad I didn't do that. Every time I see a Rivian, I'm thinking, that company's gonna go out of business. Oh yeah, SpaceX launched some crewed, I think it's their first crew space flight, maybe? It's the highest space flight since 50 years or something like that. It's a spacewalk. First commercial spacewalk. I wonder what they need to do in space. Or maybe it's just for fun. But yeah, pretty big deal. And then I don't know what's happening with rescuing the Boeing spaceship that's stuck in space, but I think they have to do that too. Space is difficult to get to, I guess. I have no interest in going there. I know he's super into Mars and all that. Sounds like no fun to me. This planet is so screwed up. Here's a unattended city bike. If somebody, I think that person loses like $1,500 if you don't return it. But yeah, we'll have, hopefully, mystery guest will be not too traumatized to appear tomorrow, and then it's September 11th tomorrow, so we'll talk about that. A lot of people want me to go back to the Walcott Hotel. I really do think it's quite dangerous for me to go there now. A lot of people also have been talking about Melania Trump put out a video. I found that quite interesting. She hasn't really done that before. Really? Has she? Kind of hectic, yeah. Well, it is interesting, Nick. Yeah, a lot of people leaving work, and you know, it's funny. I woke up this morning and I was freezing cold. It was like 55 or 60 degrees, and I put on the heat for a little while. Now it said it was 80, but it doesn't really feel. I guess it's gone down now. When I left, and also that was like an hour and a half ago or more. But yeah, Melania Trump saying that that's good. Hopefully, that's a signal that they're gonna, you know, do something and start investigating, taking some of this information seriously. But I don't know. People should dig into what we're presenting, and if you see problems, absolutely, you know, DM me, get onto X. You can send me a message on there. I guess, I don't know, maybe I have to be following you to DM me. I don't think so, I don't know. I think I just left DM for anybody there. But, you know, there are people, and by the way, this isn't an invitation for every jackass guess in the world. I don't like guesses like, oh, maybe it's something else. Like if we've spent a month developing evidence and creating a hypothesis around that evidence, and then somebody comes along and says, oh, what if it was something completely different than anything that we're talking about, that's not crowdsourcing, throwing random guesses. There's a lot of people who, they find things that are very important and very relevant to what I'm doing. And you say, hey, what about this? Does this have anything to do with what you're talking about? That's super helpful. And I realize that a lot of it comes from a good place, or it might, where people are interested in being involved and have a lot of questions and are confused by what's going on. I don't mean to sound like I'm berating people. I just want to help people understand, if this is what they're trying to do, the most effective way to do it. I think we're making progress. I think people are figuring it out. I saw somebody posted the other day, wow. Somebody posted the other day, finally, a 1920 1080 full resolution video from their phone, which was a really good segment. It had audio of the gunshots. Oh, God. So loud. God, that kills my ears. It's like amplified through the headphones. They're building a lot of fancy apartments buildings down here. This used to be really a pretty junky, like you would not want to live down here. So I guess maybe after, they neutron bomb all of us or whatever, every Chinese person can move in there. That guy just whacked my phone. Didn't stop the broadcast. I'm losing my train of thought here. So yeah, Melania's got that video, and hopefully, I have been sending everything we're doing to like Eric Trump and to, you gotta get off the sidewalk, asshole. I've been sending it to Eric Trump, to Don Jr. I wasn't following Melania until today. I don't know that I've ever seen her tweet before. So maybe, I don't know, maybe she is and I'm not looking. But I hope they're looking at what we're putting out, because I really do think we're getting closer to the truth. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to say. So I'm trying to do some additional FOIA requests. Somebody had told me that there's only 3 days left to do it. I'm not sure if that's correct. I think it does introduce another opportunity for them to deny it, but you can appeal that. Anyway, it's better to get it in before that deadline. So I was talking to, that's quite a sculpture. I was talking to the Butler PD. Oh yeah, this is a good and exciting piece of information. So I don't want to give this officer's name, because I'm not trying to hassle the police. But this was a Butler PD officer who was very intelligent, diligent, helpful. This is the person, speak carefully, who was preparing a different FOIA request for me. And this was around the missing audio from the body camera of that guy who runs in front of American Glass Research and records the dot. People might recall I used GigaSync to marry up the audio from that guy's dash cam to his silent body cam. And the way I was able to do that is he, after the gunshots are fired, runs over to the vehicle and jiggles the rear door handle. And that first grab of the door handle, it's a very clean, distinctive sound. And I can synchronize the movement of his hand and the door handle as recorded on his own body camera with the sound recorded inside the car. And then what that does is it allows us to synchronize the gunshots with the body cam, and now we know when that dot appears in the window, it's exactly 6:11 and 33 seconds. So now it starts to make me think that maybe that dot in the window could be one of the inputs for the plurality of sensors that create this fused data set. Maybe the artificial intelligence has a map, and it knows there's the podium, and it knows here's approximately where the target is, and it knows the wind is doing this, and the gun is over here, and whatever. And then maybe all you need to do is go bip, and where that dot goes gets sensed by a drone and shot by something. I don't know. I'm just saying we have all these mystery technologies that the FBI and the cops don't want to talk about, and they seem related. So what this officer at the Butler Police told me was that they can't provide that video with audio because there is no audio. And we got into a whole conversation of how could that possibly be, that it's recording audio and not recording audio. And so I was given a pretty good technical explanation from a technical person there about how the body cameras operate. And what they said was, and I'm sure that this is true because this is how a lot of modern cameras work. They have a function called pre-record, where the idea is it is always rolling and saving what it's recording to a buffer, right? So like, you know, you put a memory chip in your camera and it's, let's say, 1 gigabyte, and let's say you can record 1 hour on 1 gigabyte. So imagine if you were always recording and that thing was always full and it's got everything up to right now and 1 hour ago. So if you're looking over here, you're standing here in the street, just standing, not recording. You have not hit record on your body cam. Suddenly, bang, there's a car accident right there. Oh no. So now I hit record on the body cam. Right? Car accident just happened, boop. So what it does is, it saves, let's say 5 minutes before it starts going. You can set it. When I hit record, give it a pre-start time of 30 seconds, a minute. Lots of times when you're doing stuff with sports, you want to use this because it's virtually impossible to, you know, you're going to miss it every time. So here, when you hit it and say, oh, damn it, I missed it, you didn't miss it because it's been recording from 5 minutes ago or an hour ago or whatever. So the officer went on to explain that what happens is these guys are driving around all day, the body camera is running and filling up this buffer, and then because they were there at the Butler Farm Show Fairgrounds for so long, this is why we don't have the gunshots from those other body cameras, because the buffer filled up, and when they got back to the police station, they had, like, you know, 8 o'clock back to 7 something, and all the stuff from 6/11/33, even if they were there, fell out of the buffer. And the one that we got with the officer running in front of American Glass Research, the reason there's no audio is that this officer, who is a digital file expert, I take it back, not all police are stupid, just the NYPD. This Butler PD officer might be a genius, because I was told that the way we got any video at all was through a buffer recovery that is a non-standard process. That video that we saw of BWC 211221110, we would have seen no video at all if it wasn't for the excellent work of this Butler County Police officer. So it's interesting to me because I also spoke with this officer about some of the other officers that we now know from this unredacted document. And I was surprised to learn that this Butler PD officer knew almost none of them. Be careful not to repeat the names right now because I don't remember offhand which ones we've already mentioned. And again, the goal is not nobody, even if you happen to find these numbers, come across them from the Chris Martinson document or whatever, don't start calling the cops and hassling the cops. It's not going to help. You could get in trouble, etc. But so that's the deal. That mystery solved. Basically, they can't fulfill this other FOIA request because there is no audio. And at first I thought that was a lie, but after this explanation, I believe it. It makes sense that that's how the device would operate. And I think this officer did a heroic job rescuing that file. I think a lot of people, you could have easily said, even if it wasn't true, you could have just said, oh, because all these guys were recording for X number of hours, buffer overflow, we can't get that, there's no video. Didn't do that though. Delivered the video. We would not have that image of the red dot in the window if not for that. That's a hero cop. It's fantastic. So we won't be getting audio from that. And there's other things that I don't want to talk about yet with FOIA, and I'm not trying to be coy, but everybody knows there's a load of social engineering maniacs who are after me all the time. Mystery guest too. People are going to like this guest. This person has not been on the show before, but I do think everybody knows the person. Most everybody, probably. We'll see, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, so kind of a lot of stuff going on there today. I don't know if anybody is able to figure out what Chris Martinson intends to do with his screwy version of the document. These guys are going right through, aren't you? Don't go through the light, you fucking asshole. That guy was trying to make a right on red. Now he's jamming up the whole. I'm basically out of stuff to say right now, but I don't like turning off the camera because that always seems to be the moment where the craziest stuff happens the second after I turn it off. So let's just look at what's going out of business over here. Oh wow, I completely forgot about the danger of being live. So all right, we'll see if any maniacs come and try to meet me, so I definitely can't turn it off. I've gotten way out of balance on this gimbal here, so it's a good thing we're almost done. Yeah, we had the, I guess it's Optimum now. Wait a minute, what is it? No, Optum, what is that? Physical therapy. Yeah, no, this was the Honduras consulate. It's for rent. Why would they close that? Did they open another Honduras consulate? Or maybe now that all the criminals are here, all the Hondurans moved back to Honduras. People say Venezuela has had a 70% reduction in crime or something like that. I don't know, maybe it's nice to move to Venezuela. I've known a few Venezuelan people. When I went to college, there was a girl from Venezuela, and she was like rich. I thought that, I guess there's a lot of countries like this, right? Where the rich people are absolutely rich, and the poor people are rolling around in the streets selling dirty fruit. We've just brought that here. Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely a plan to destroy everything from somebody who wants to do that. The saddest part is the people who we thought were regular Americans who are on board for this. Crazy. Oh look, here's Latinos for Trump. Where is the person whose vehicle that is? Oh look, Tina Forte for Congress. Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on now. This is Johnny Tobacco's girlfriend right here. Whose van is this? Freedom Chariot. Oh, that's Sylvia. Whose van is this? Do you know anybody else on there? They have Crackhead Barney on there? Johnny Tobacco? Probably somewhere on here. I don't see him. I don't know, that's weird. Social engineering is going absolutely crazy. Seems to be kind of all certain people do. Chris Martinson and others. I don't know, I hope Brett Weinstein comes around. I wonder, how could he not see this? How could all these geniuses not be aware of the massively obvious lies? There's just no evidence that Crooks was on that roof. He keeps referring to things as films that are videos. He's so impossibly stupid. The city is just filthy. This guy's just not putting any effort into it at all. Just intimidating people, walking right up. So summer is over. You gotta learn how to, there's a zombie distance that you've got to maintain. I can't walk that far. Just maintain zombie distance, you'll be all right. What is with driving right at me while I'm crossing the street? Jerk. Anyway, sorry to be kind of like non sequitur and all over the place, everybody, but had a whole other riff planned for the mystery guest show. We'll get into that tomorrow. I do want to thank everybody who sponsors the show. We're going to do another redacted document show. I think we said Thursday. So if you didn't see the first one, definitely get on to odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth. It's only $3 a month plus a 58-cent Odyssey fee. It's got to be one of the best deals going for a month of streaming video. But you can also go to crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com or subscribestar.com or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. So this is the spot where a weirdo came up to me last time. Oh yeah, so they have finally installed, and something is happening. See, it's interfering with me. They have finally installed whatever the hell it is that this is. See, okay, we're back, I think. But this is some kind of radio thing. And remember, when we saw something like this in the city before, there were two of these going across a wire, and it gave the most insane radio interference I've ever had. So now it's not doing that, which is good. But this is a whole new pole that they see this. I'm sorry I missed that. I would have liked to have seen how that worked. Probably it stays there and then they just pour that cement on. Anyway, this is, you know, super interesting deep dive into new electronic towers in New York City. Maybe it's just going to irradiate us with electromagnetic energy. It's crazy, the bicycles going everywhere. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. Hopefully we'll see mystery guests tomorrow. I hope you're feeling all right, mystery guests. Sorry about that. New York is a wreck. This person wanted to go to the Walcott Hotel, and I suggested that it was too dangerous. I think that they know what I was talking about now. Have a great night, everybody.